In this video, we're taking a look at weekly challenge number 257, palindromes. Palindrome is a word that is spelled the same backwards as forwards. And we are going to use Alteryx today to take a list of words and see if they're palindromes. We're going to test, see if they're palindromes, and find a little bit more information as well. So of course, we're starting with the weekly challenge start file. I'm going to hit the run button in order to pull my data through here. And we just have a random list of words here that we'll be testing to see if they're palindromes or not. In the output, aside from getting a count of the number of palindromes in our list, we also want to see what the most common start character is for palindromes and how many times it shows up within our list. All right, so the first thing that I want to do is I want to take my list and I want to separate it, and I want to see where my palindromes exist. And so I'm going to use a cool little function called the reverse string function. So I'm going to go ahead and add a column here, and I'm going to call it reverse string, and it is just going to be the reverse of my words. So I'm going to take my words and I'm going to reverse them and hit the run button here. So now I've got a listing of my words and my reverse words, and I'm going to use a filter to see where they equal each other. So if my words equal my reverse words or my reverse string, then I know that I have a palindrome. So looking at my 128 records here, I've got level and level, mom and mom, none and none, on and on. So all of my reverse strings have been identified. Now that's not the only way that we have to do this. We could have also used a join as a dynamic filter here. We could have done all of this within the filter tool also. So you could have come in and you could have said that within our filter, we wanted to create a custom filter, and we're going to say words equal, and then we're going to take the reverse string of words as well. So we could have built this all into one filter, but to keep it relatively simple, I went ahead and put it into two tools between a formula and a filter. Now that we have this listing here, we do need to identify what the first letter is for each of these words. So in order to do that, we can again use our formula tool. And there's a couple ways that we can do this. I'm just going to use my field called words, and I'm going to say that I want the left first character of my words list, just to find the very first letter here. Really at this point, the actual strings are not important to me because I have a count of the number of records, which is what I was looking for at the end, a count of my palindromes. Now I want to find my most common start character. And I'm going to do that using my summarize tool. So using my summarize tool, I am going to go ahead and group by my words field, but this is actually going to be my start character. And then I'm going to get a count of those as well. I'm going to count of my start character. Now that I have this listing, I do need to sort it so that I can grab the very first one. So I'm going to come to my count and sort in descending order, and we'll see that we have S at the top of our list, just like what we're aiming for here. Come out. Oops, and I'm going to do that one more time because I did not hit the check mark to apply my data manipulations. All right, there's our sort tool now. So the last thing that we need to do is we need to roll up our words here, and we can use a count records tool in order to do that. So we don't have to do anything to set up our count records tool. It just gives us a count of the records at this point in our process. And finally, I'm going to use an append fields along with its ability with an embedded select tool to go ahead and rename these fields. So I've got palindrome count, start character, and count is what I need. And all I need to really do is change this to say palindrome count And then I want to clear my rename down here. Count is good. And I'm going to grab a browse tool. Oops, and I have a little error here. Oh, and the reason why is because I made a mistake. I forgot to only grab my first record. Apologies here. I need a sample tool so that I only grab my first one record after I've sorted my data. So you can see that before I sorted my data, I had all 21 records. And then afterwards, I just have my one start character that I'll be appending onto my main data set. So luckily, I had the warn or error on too many records being generated. I had more than 16 records being appended. So Alteryx threw an error and said, hey, wait a minute, I don't think that you want to do a Cartesian join like that. So thanks for watching today. Hope that you learned something new.